So, Uber is hiring a lot of people in New York City, and I think we should discuss exactly what they're up to. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and Uber, as we've discussed many times, does not have a sustainable business model. They lose so much money. People in the comments ask all the time, how on earth can they be losing so much money with all the rides they give? Trust me, they're open about it. They lose money. The books don't lie. Investors see it. That's why the stock is tanking. And that is why you always have to have more than one product. This is something that companies have been learning sometimes the hard way. You can have a really successful product one day, and then the next day that product could fail. Maybe it is no longer relevant, and your company goes bankrupt unless you have something else to fall back on. It's kind of like why I am expanding this channel into other topics. I mean, so far, rideshare has been very good for me. However, if the day comes when rideshare is not that interesting to hear about anymore, I've got to have some topics to fall back on. That's why you're seeing more and more like this. Uber feels the same way. They know that they have to have products that they fall back on just in case rideshare isn't there for them anymore themselves. Although I should say it's kind of funny because rideshare, their main product, doesn't make them money anyway, whereas rideshare as a topic makes me money. So it's very interesting how that works out. And, well, Uber is on a hiring spree in New York, and what is their next big thing that they're looking into that will save the company? Well, apparently it's Fintech. However, before we talk about any of that, let's have a word from our sponsors. Times are changing for gig workers and the gig economy, and there are a lot more gigs from a lot more companies than there used to be. That's why when people ask me where they can go to find resources for the gig economy, I recommend gigworker.com. At this site, you can see what other gig workers are doing and discover better opportunities from industries, companies, resources, and even a forum where you can talk with other people in the gig economy. Gigworker.com is a great resource site whether you work for Uber, Lyft, Postmates, DoorDash, TaxRabbit, Thumbtack, Upwork, whatever. There's a gig for you and there's a forum for you on gigworker.com. Gigworker.com for all your gigs. So here's the article. Uber is making a fintech push with a New York hiring spree. Mobility giant, is that what they're called now? Are they a mobility giant? Geez. A few days ago, they were like a social network, and a couple months ago, they were a payment processor. Make up your minds, guys. Is looking to accelerate the creation of financial products with a new fintech outpost in New York, according to people with knowledge of the plan. The ride-hailing company is aiming to hire several dozen engineers and product managers this year, and the New York team could eventually exceed 100 workers, said the people, who declined to be identified speaking about Uber's plans. Uber, fresh from its IPO last month, is looking to tap New York's talent pool, which is deeper when it comes to fintech and bank workers than its hometown of San Francisco. By building out, actually that makes sense. They've got Wall Street there. Of course there's going to be more financial people there. By building out its financial ecosystem, the company can increase its lead over rivals like Lyft. The efforts are likely to be focused on ways to increase engagement and loyalty to the Uber platform, according to people who attend a recruitment event earlier this year. Payments chief Peter Hazelhurst and top engineer Johnny Lee spoke at the event held at Uber's New York offices, the people said. There are many possible payment and lending innovations Uber could come up with. It has 93 million active users globally, most of whom use linked credit cards or fund a wallet called Uber Cash to pay for rides and food delivery. The two major areas being looked at by its financial products team involve building payment experiences that encourage riders and eaters to use Uber or remove costs from the system and helping contractors manage the funds they earned according to a job posting. That's in line with products Uber has already released, like Uber Cash, which includes discounts when a user funds the wallet, its loyalty program, Uber Rewards, and its co-branded credit card. On the other hand, on the other side of the service, Uber allows drivers to get paid as often as 5 times a day instead of waiting for weekly paychecks. Not something I would recommend. And yes, I drove long enough to know that that was not a good idea to cash out 5 times a day. That's like $2.50. So here's what, and finally, a more radical possibility is an Uber bank account, according to a person with knowledge of the matter. Creating a bank account has been discussed at a high level at Uber, but may be years away or the company could decide against it, this person said. Uber relies heavily on the banking system to get paid and pay drivers, and it could potentially cut out middlemen with its own bank. So great, Uber would have even more control over the driver's earnings. Wonderful. That's a similar rationale that another tech giant, Amazon, oh look, there's Amazon again, reportedly had for engaging banks, including JP Morgan Chase, to explore creating a checking account for customers. If it pursued a bank account, Uber would likely partner with an existing FDIC-insured bank rather than get its own charter. Most fintech firms rely on small groups of institutions like Cross River and Celtic Bank to offer banking services. Uber is currently looking for larger digs in New York, shopping for a block of office space as large as 300,000 square feet. So we already know more investor money is going to be thrown down the toilet at this point. Crain's New York reported. Noah Edwardson, a spokesperson for Uber, declined to comment on the story. So here's what I see the story being. I believe the story for this right now, from what I'm taking away from this, is that Uber is looking to expand. They right now have like 3 main products. They have rideshare, which loses a lot of money, like way more than it should. They have Uber Eats, which is very profitable, but not used that much. And then you have the Uber Bike, Uber Jump bikes, whatever. I don't know what they're called. It's hard to, I don't care about the bikes, really. I just know that Uber and Lyft both have them. And those are profitable, but not widely available. So Uber wants to make more money, and they want an ecosystem. They want people to stay within the Uber ecosystem and brand. Thus, they start creating extensions of the Uber service. So they have Uber Rewards, which encourages people to only use the Uber service or to use it as much as possible. They have the Uber credit card, which gives them discounts at places and, of course, rewards on Uber rides. And, well, they have the Eats, which, now that they've integrated that into the main app, people can get a ride home and then order food so that it could be ready when they get there. And if Uber opens a bank, that's yet another extension. The funny thing about this is it's like all these extensions might be there to support a platform that is ridiculously not profitable, and there's no reason to believe it will be profitable anytime soon. It's really funny how all of this just works out. It really does. In some strange way, they are, in a sense, following Amazon's lead, because Amazon has kind of always done. This is why they've always lost money. Every time Amazon starts to make a little bit of money, they reinvest it into another product. And they lose more money, and then when they start making money again, they reinvest it in another product. And so they continuously, the circle goes, because they're losing money, but they're also keeping people in the Amazon ecosystem. And that stupid credit card that's going to be I made a video about that. I'm not going to get on the credit card again. But that's one of the things Amazon does. And Uber seems to be following that playbook to pretty much a T. And it's going to be interesting to see. Oh, yeah, they have the Uber Cash. I keep forgetting about the Uber Cash. And all these products could, in a sense, be spun off into their own little profitable systems. Like Uber Eats is profitable. And like Uber Cash, what if like Uber starts rolling out the Cash app in restaurants and stores and stuff? You can start paying using Uber Cash. That's like a huge thing for them. And the Uber brand is still there. And the loyalty program, what if it is expanded so that it's not just getting you points on rides? What if it's getting you discounts at Uber partnered restaurants or something like that? There's a lot that Uber can do to make money. There really is. I don't want to act like Uber can never make money. I mean, they bring in billions of dollars. None of that's profit. I see this ride sharing thing as holding them back. And investors are already losing patience with them. And some of these things will take years to implement. And I don't think Uber has years to get there. So, I mean, full disclosure, once that stock hits $30, I will buy a share just to say that I have a share in Uber. However, I don't know. This stuff is a little far off. Who knows where it's ultimately going to lead. However, it's pretty clear Uber wants their brand to be popular, and it wants their brand to have an ecosystem and to have a bunch of different products, and maybe have enough of those products be profitable enough to offset the losses a little while longer. However, I still think this company is destined for bankruptcy at some point unless they change something. So anyway, that's where I am going to leave this. What says you? Do you agree, disagree? I'd love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way, helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. Also, if gas prices are getting you a little low, check out the GetUpside app below. It's totally free, and you get cash back on every gas purchase. Consider subscribing to the Apptrepreneur Vlogs channel, and if you want to talk to me or other fellow rideshare drivers, check us out at the Apptrepreneur Hangouts on Facebook. As always, delay responsibly. Have a good one.